Hi, Year 11. Today we're looking at simple interest. Now, interest is a way that uh, a bank or something like that can make money by lending the money. So, if I was to give you some money for you to use, the way that I get a benefit from that is that over time, when you pay that back, the amount that you have to pay back is increased slightly. Okay, a little bit of interest is added on each time. And that means that I'm making money over time while you also get the benefit of having that borrowed money. So there are two kinds of interest. There's simple interest and there's compound interest. Compound interest is definitely the one that is used the most, but we're going to start with simple interest. It has a simpler calculation and helps us understand the concept of interest as well. So for simple interest, we have this formula here. So I equals PRN. I is the amount of interest. P is the principal. That is the original amount that you started with, or the amount borrowed. R is the rate. So it's usually written as a percentage. And sometimes we need to convert that to a decimal. And then N is the number of time periods. So the rate in which interest is calculated is given, but the time cycle or the time period in which the interest is added on can vary. So we've got to be watchful of that, whether it is added on every year or every month or some other time period. Okay, so let's do an example here. We'll need a calculator for this one. Calculate the simple interest on 5,000 at a flat rate of 8% per annum for 4 years. So we just use our formula, I equals and then our principal is 5,000. Our rate is 8% per annum. Okay, I'm going to write 8% as a decimal, so 0.08. So remember, you just divide by 100 and you get it as a decimal. And then we're going to times it by 4 for 4 years. Okay, so I equals PRN. We've got all of those features there now. Okay, and then we get our interest that would be added on. So after 4 years, there would be $1,600 added on to the amount that you would have to pay back. Usually you pay back a little bit at a time, but we're just sort of keeping it simple for now. Okay, careful about the time period though. So in this example here, we're going to express the percentage for different time periods. So per annum means per year. It comes from the Latin annum. So if you've got P.A, then you know it's per year. And you need to read the question as to which time period you need to convert it to. So for 5% is just 0.05. But to find the 6 monthly, okay, we're going to have to divide that by 2, okay, because there are 2 periods of 6 months in a year. So we divide our rate by 2, and you get 0.025. Now, if we want to do it per quarter, instead, we're going to divide this by 4 because there are 4 quarters in a year, and we get 0.0125. And then with D, find the monthly. Okay, so the 12 months in a year, so we divide it by 12 and we get 0.0041. Is that right? I get, yep, 416 repeater. Now, obviously, this would round out, but we'll just leave it there for now. It also says to write it as a percentage, so I'm going to write these all as a percentage as well. So just times it by 100 again, 1.25%, and this one becomes 0.416 repeater percent. Okay, so you can see the percentage rate changes depending on, you will adapt it to that time period. Okay, now calculate the simple interest on 3,000 at a flat rate of 8.56% per annum over 16 months. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to convert our per annum rate to a monthly rate and then times it by the number of months. So the interest equals 3,000 times 8.56, or I should convert it to a decimal, sorry, 0.0856 over 12, and then times by 16. Now, the reason why we write it out before we put it in our calculator is just to make sure that we've done it correctly. We're thinking about the per annum and whether or not it converts to a month or another time period. Once we've written it out and we're convinced we've written it correctly, we then get our calculator out. Okay, pop our numbers in. And then we get our interest. So 342.4. Make sure you put 2 decimal places because you're dealing with money. And that will be our answer for that one there. Okay, one more example. It's in 3,000 is invested for 3 years. The amount of interest is earned is 735. So this is a classic switcheroo with any formula question in standard maths. Okay, we're given a formula, I equals PRN, but you could be given any 3 out of those 4 pieces of information and then rearrange it to find the missing. Okay, so in this case, the I is 735, the P is 3,500. Okay, the rate we don't yet know. The number of terms is 3, so it's going to be times 3 times R. Okay, times the rate. So then to find the rate, I need to divide both sides. Okay, I just simply move what I was multiplying the R by, and then I divide the other side by that. And once I've done that, I then get my calculator out. Again, you've got to do the substitution, you got to rearrange, and then you calculate. You don't get the calculator out before and try to skip steps because you will get in trouble. Okay, and then we get our decimal. And then it says to write it as a percentage as well. So times it by 100, you get 7%. Okay, so just be wary with the formula. You might need to rearrange it there. Okay, good luck with the questions today. I'll see you later.